pile 2. Let's go ahead and get into your reading. Starting first with the Pleiadians. What the Pleiadians say, rooted light. Ooh la la. Ooh, right away. Okay. Right away, I feel like your ancestors have a lot to say here in this one. I feel like there's a lot of downloads coming through from actual like beings that have been Earthside. Not saying that it's not, star people, star family. We all hail from somewhere, right? We all do. But there for whatever reason something about this feels very ancestral, the rooted light, almost as if you might be the generational curse breaker, right? You might be the curse breaker, the disturber, the disruptor, um, the black sheep, all that. You are like the thing that, I mean, it's rooted, right? It's stuck. It's just deep in that soil, and there's a reason for that. It's almost like Spirit's kind of showing me this image of like when you're about to throw out a plant because the fruit's not producing, or like the leaves look kind of wilted, but you might chop it all down, or you might chop it all down, and what it reveals is that the root system is still very much intact and very much alive. And so there's just more care. There's more care and nurturing that's needed. More attention is needed, and that's what will make the difference. And surely, once you start putting in that work, or that work on the plant, and you start giving it the attention that it needs, right? You maybe research or figure out like how do I best feed this plant? What kind of plant food does this plant need? What kind of sun does this plant need? And maybe you discover, oh crap, it's a small adjustment. I've been setting it in, partial shade when it likes full shade, something along those lines, and you adjust it and then it thrives, right? So Spirit really wants to talk about how small adjustments can make a huge difference in our lives, of course, but also how we can sometimes believe that something is rotted out or not what it really truly appears until we do some digging, right? And we actually see that there's actually a viable like bounty right underneath the surface here. All we needed to do was look, right? So I do feel with that, ancestrally, we're just going to go ahead and move on to the Set Oracle, which is the message from your ancestors, your ancestral guides, and what they want you to know or encourage you. Cartouche, Divine Names of Power. Okay, and it's not lost on me that there's a lot of smoke looking energy. This is smoke. These are oh, you can't see that. This is incense, but this is just fragments of light. But the point is communication. So this is really giving off the energy of not saying that you will not be answered, because you will be. There will be an answer that comes through. However, perhaps, and what's interesting is that it's actually been kind of hard for me to talk for this pile. So I'm wondering if you get tongue-tied a lot, or if you kind of fall back on what you say, and not because you are not capable, but perhaps there's there's maybe like a blockage with how you communicate, or you feel like there's a blockage with how you communicate because you're afraid of feeling dumb, or afraid of being misunderstood, or whatever it is that you're saying not resonating with others. So you've learned to kind of make yourself small and sparse, right? Like you've kind of chopped your words, so you're not fully expressing, right, to your fullest extent. That's kind of coming through. And it's coming through too also that you might be somebody who's kind of timid and afraid to ask for what it is that you need, or what it is that you want. So it really just feels like Spirit, or your ancestors, really want to give life and breathe life into you and give you encouragement. But perhaps they're feeling like maybe you could also do, and I'm sorry, but you could also make more of a point or more of an effort to call out, and speak with them, speak with your higher self, speak with your speak with the divine, right? Go outside and have a conversation with a tree. Go outside and have it's really kind of looking like everybody's kind of waiting on you to talk it, because it feels like it's coming from you rather than going to you. Now, they do want to emphasize that doesn't mean, hey, we just want you to talk, right? There's always going to be reciprocity when that happens, right? Perhaps there's been a loss of faith. I just heard, like, that you feel like you've done this before and nothing came through, nothing worked out. And I just kind of want to tell you that divine timing is a big thing. And also, if you're somebody who's kind of new, relatively new, sometimes, like new to the practice, new to craft, sometimes we can jumble up our words. We're not very clear. We're not very pointed in our manifestations. And so the energy kind of comes out a little screwy, and we don't really see the results that we were trying to set intention for. And I don't know if this resonates with you, Pile 2, but if you find yourself like not being able, or feeling like you're kind of going in a million directions, Spirit wants you to develop, your ancestors want you to develop a practice and a ritual and a routine. That's really kind of coming through here. Is the need for a routine and a need for quiet time to kind of clear the mind. You might have like ADHD. I totally relate if that's the case. I'm so there with you. It just might be kind of hard to focus, and we might be in a space where we need to learn how to ground as well, or be more comfortable with grounding, be more comfortable with meditation. This is a perfect time to start working on that through the Alcyone portal, because that's really, it's all about that, it's all about trusting your path and releasing old patterns and calling in, what you would like to see in your life, right? You're wonderful. There's so much power here, right? It's just that we need to kind of hone it in better, and your spirit team wants to help you with that. So moving on to your final message. This is the plant magic. This is Babensana, and it's trust. You can see it's kind of dark, but there's DNA here, and there seems to be like a shaman woman. So this might be also your maternal line as well coming through. So Babensana, trust, self-love, heart retrieval, ultimate state of receivership, gratitude, receptivity, and compassion. I really want you to extend that compassion to yourself. Babensana's bright and pink yellow, sorry, Babensana's bright and pink flowers bathe the energy body with the softness of light, awakening the inner pathways to unconditional self-love. Babensana reminds us that love is the highest state of receivership, reminding us not to forget the necessary power of self-love. Babensana assists us in rediscovering forgotten places within ourselves, retrieving fragments of our heart seeking healing. Ask yourself, where in my heart's memory can I bring wholeness to? Babensana's medicine is like that of whales and hummingbirds, the joyous record keepers of the sacred that assist us in accessing the reservoirs of the cosmic heart. Sirenita is reminding you to pay close attention to the messages encoded in dreams, synchronicities, and symbols that surround you now. Through those doorways, you can further explore the great mystery of your heart's desire. So yes, I think that through meditation and quiet moments, you will absolutely start to clear that path, right? And definitely ask your ancestors and guides for help with that, for aid in that, whether you're going to do that before you go to sleep at night. Maybe you say a little prayer, or maybe you say a little prayer before meditation or before a walk, before something that calms your spirit. Maybe you go swimming. Swimming just popped into my head for some reason. So maybe you just need to go float in some water and pray, right? But that's all I'm seeing for you, Pile 2. I'm sending you all of my love and blessings, and stay well and absolutely love yourself. I'll talk to you later. Okay.